The street was unusually quiet that night. Gas lamps, standing like silent witnesses, cast pools of golden light across the cobblestones. Most of the shops had their shutters drawn, the glass reflecting dim glimmers of passing footsteps, though very few people were around. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked faintly, but soon even that sound was swallowed by the hush of night. At the very center of this empty street sat an old man in a wheelchair. His shoulders were broad but hunched with age. His hair, once thick and dark, was now a halo of white under the lamps. He wore a black suit, neatly pressed, as though he had come from an important gathering. His face carried the heavy weight of years, sorrows that could not be measured in time alone. Kneeling before him on an upturned tin bucket was a younger man in his late 30s. He was sharply dressed too, in a tuxedo that seemed just slightly wrinkled from hours of wear. His posture was steady, though his hands were restless, fingers twisting and clenching as if they sought courage and motion. His eyes, however, never wavered from the older man's. "Tell me the truth," the younger man said softly. His voice trembled not from fear, but from the weight of longing. "Tonight, I need to know everything." The older man exhaled heavily, his breath clouding in the cool evening air. His hands rested on the arms of his chair, knuckles pale. "The truth," he repeated, almost to himself. "You think the truth will set you free? Or will it bind you tighter than the chains you already carry?" The younger man leaned closer. "I've lived my whole life in chains without knowing it. I need to hear it from you." For a long while, the older man said nothing. The lamps flickered. A couple walked past on the far side of the street, glancing curiously before disappearing into the distance. The world outside seemed ordinary, yet between the two men, an invisible storm was brewing. The weight of silence. The old man finally spoke, his voice gravelly but clear. "I never wanted you to find out this way. I thought I could keep you safe if I carried the burden myself. But you've grown into a man who demands answers, and I am too tired to keep my silence." He paused, glancing upward at the night sky where stars barely peeked through the haze of the town's lamps. "There was a time when I believed in second chances. In redemption. But redemption comes at a cost. A cost I wasn't sure you could bear." The younger man swallowed hard. "Stop circling it. Just say it." The old man's eyes locked on his. Blue-gray, piercing, heavy with years of unspoken truths. "You are not who you think you are." The younger man blinked, stunned. "What are you talking about? You were never meant to live the life you've lived. The name you carry isn't yours by birth. You are my greatest lie, and my greatest love. A past unearthed." The younger man froze. His breath quickened, and he shook his head as if the words themselves were poison. "No. That's impossible. My mother." "Your mother," the old man cut in, "was a kind soul. But she wasn't the one who brought you into this world. She was the one who saved you from it." The street seemed to shrink around them. Every sound, the ticking of a nearby clock, the faint rustle of leaves, grew sharper. The old man continued, his voice cracking as memory pulled him backward. "It was 38 years ago. The night you were born, the town was not as peaceful as it is now. There was fire in the factories, riots in the streets, men with guns walking as if they owned the world. Your father, your real father, was one of them." The younger man's eyes widened. "You mean, he was a criminal?" "He was more than that," the old man whispered. "He was a leader of men who thrived on chaos. He believed in power above all else. And your mother, your real mother, was caught in the middle of it. She tried to run from him, but he found her. On the night you were born, she placed you in my arms and begged me to protect you. She didn't survive the night." The younger man's throat tightened. "And my father." The old man's eyes hardened. "I killed him. The confession." The words dropped like stones into a bottomless well. The younger man staggered back slightly, almost losing balance on the tin bucket he sat upon. "You killed him. I had no choice," the old man said firmly, though his hands trembled. "He would have slaughtered us all. He was about to take you from her arms. She was bleeding, dying, pleading with me. I shot him before he could reach you. And in that moment, I swore to raise you as my own." The younger man's mind reeled. Memories of childhood, of the old man teaching him to ride a bicycle, patching up his knees when he fell, telling him bedtime stories about courage, flashed before his eyes. All those years, he had believed this man to be his father. And now, the truth unraveled like a cruel thread. Why didn't you ever tell me? He whispered, voice hoarse. The old man's eyes glistened. Because I wanted you to have a chance at innocence. If you had known the blood that ran in your veins, you would have carried the weight of shame. I wanted you to live free of his shadow. The younger man's chest tightened. But you lied to me. My whole life has been a lie. Dash dash dash. Shadows and light. The silence between them deepened. The lamps hummed softly. A breeze rustled through the quiet town, carrying the faint scent of bread from a bakery left open too late. I lied to protect you, the old man said quietly. And I would do it again. The younger man shook his head. I don't know if I can forgive you. You stole my identity. I gave you a new one, the old man replied, his voice trembling with both sorrow and defiance. You are not defined by blood, nor by the sins of your father. You are defined by the choices you make. And every choice you've made has been yours, not his. The younger man buried his face in his hands. The street blurred with tears he hadn't realized were falling. Then why do I feel so lost? The old man reached out a trembling hand. Slowly, hesitantly, the younger man allowed his father, adopted father, savior, liar, protector, to rest that hand upon his shoulder. Because, the old man said softly, truth is a heavy gift. But it is still a gift. Dash dash dash. A long road home. Minutes passed. Perhaps hours. Time seemed to dissolve into the night air. The younger man finally lifted his gaze. If my real father was a monster, then what does that make me? The old man's eyes softened. It makes you a man with a choice. I have seen you, your kindness, your strength, your compassion. You are nothing like him. You are everything like her. The younger man blinked. My mother. She was brave, the old man whispered. Braver than anyone I've known. And in you, I see her courage. That is your inheritance, not his violence. The younger man inhaled deeply, as though trying to breathe in the truth and make peace with it. His heart was torn, but somewhere within the cracks, light began to seep through. I don't know what comes next, he admitted. None of us do, the old man replied with a faint smile. But tonight, you know who you are. And that is the first step toward freedom. Dash dash dash. The walk of forgiveness. The younger man stood, pushing the tin bucket aside. He paced a few steps, his shoes clicking softly against the cobblestones. His heart felt both heavier and lighter than ever before. Finally, he turned back to the wheelchair. The old man sat quietly, his hands folded in his lap, waiting for judgment. Do you regret it? The younger man asked. Every day, the old man answered. And yet, not for a moment. The younger man exhaled slowly, then knelt again, this time not out of desperation, but out of love. His eyes met the old man's, steady and unbroken. You may not be my father by blood, he said firmly. But you are my father by choice. And for that, I thank you. The old man's lips quivered. Tears slipped down his weathered cheeks. You don't know what that means to me. I do, the younger man whispered. And in that moment, forgiveness was not spoken, it was lived. Dash dash dash. Epilogue. The street began to fill with faint signs of dawn. The lamps flickered weaker as the horizon softened into pale blue. Shops would soon open, and the town would resume its ordinary life. But for the two men on that quiet street, nothing would ever be the same. They had unearthed the past, faced the darkness, and chosen the light. As the old man wheeled himself slowly forward, and the younger man walked beside him, the silence between them was no longer heavy. It was sacred. For in the end, the truth had not broken them. It had set them free.